So this is part 4 on Unit 4, Worksheet 3. We could do this in a couple different ways. We could, if we wanted, we could sketch out circles and extrude them a little bit and then sketch on the face of that cylinder and keep on continuing that. But that, if we look at this piece, that would equate to like 6 different extrusions. So I think that a better way to do it would be to use the revolve tool. And I can show you how that works right now. So I'm going to actually start at the origin and we'll just work our way to the right, meaning that the whole piece will be kind of behind the origin here. I'm going to start with a line down the center that is the full, actually no, let's not do that. I'm going to start at the left side of the shape and go upwards. I'm going to continue to look at these diameter measurements and use half of that diameter measurement since I want to be drawing from the center of our shape. So the first diameter is 15 units. I'm going to go 7.5 out. Then I'm going to use the width of 16. Next, I'm going to either go back to the origin like this, then draw a line right on top of that up, which is half of the next diameter, or 9. Then I'm going to go over 34. I can either keep going back down to the diameter and then going up, or I can consider that right now I'm at 9, and the next diameter is 20, which means I want to go up to 10. So if I want to go from 9 to 10, I can just go an additional 1 higher before I move over to 24 more units. Next one is 25, so if I'm at 10, I want to go 2.5 higher. And 36 units. Now I'm going to start working my way back in. I'm at a diameter of 25 or 12.5, and I want to go in 2.5. Out 35. And then in again, I'm going from a diameter of 20 to a diameter of 18. So that's a diameter change of 2 or a radius change of just 1. I'll go my last. Ooh, that did not work. My last distance of 21. We want to make it orthogonal. Now I can go back down to the origin, which should be exactly 9 away. I'm going to draw one line to connect this entire shape back to where I started. And so what we have is the upper half of our shape. We can revolve it. And if you drew lines vertically, then you'll have multiple regions. Here, since I didn't draw any lines up and down, except for the difference between the diameters, then I have just one big region over here. Then to select my axis, I'm going to use that bottom line. And so now I have the shape that is revolved in 3-dimensional. Notice that a couple of these edges will need to be chamfered, but what I want to focus on is drawing the divot in the top and the holes through each end. So to draw that divot, we need to look at our planes. And so this plane, the YZ plane, cuts right through our shape. If we look at the front of it, it's right through the top and the bottom. And so if we draw on it, we can make that divot here when we extrude perpendicularly from that plane. So I'm going to, with that plane selected, I'm going to click Start Sketch. And now what we need to do is find where that divot is. It looks like it's centered here, and so that section is 36 long. So I'm going to start at the edge of it and go 18. And And then it's 12.5. Yeah, the full distance is 25. So 12.5 would be the middle. And we have a measurement that from the middle, it is 17 higher to find that circle, the center of the circle, which will then intersect with our shape that we can extrude on. So this circle has a radius of 11 or diameter of 22. And since, no, let's draw a line just to enclose this to be sure. Okay, so you can finish the sketch now, and we can extrude. And now as we're extruding, we have to be really careful to try to select the correct region. One way we can do that is just by zooming in to make sure that we're selecting just that bottom half of the circle. And then we're going to make this symmetric with a total distance of 8. You'll notice that this looks like it's joining, so it's adding more volume to our shape. We don't want that to happen. We want it to cut away, so we have to change it to a different type of operation or output. And then when we accept it, we can see that that's that divot in the top of our shape. The same can be done then. We're now looking for a plane that cuts right through the center of our shape horizontally. And so it's not that first one. It is the XZ plane. So if we start a sketch on this plane, we can just draw those two circles where they are. And so the first one is well, let's look at the back one first because that's measured from the end. So if we're centered here along the end, we can go out 10 and place a circle at the end of this line that has a diameter of 5. And then draw a line from this edge in the center of the shape forward 11. And we have another shape that's the same diameter 5. So with these two circles drawn, when we extrude them, we got to select the two circle regions, and then we're going to go symmetrically through all to make sure that we're cutting them out. And so except for those chamfers, which are on the front edge and on either edge of this larger section, then this piece is done.